This is insane. Yo guys, I got a new selfie stick. I don't know if it's long enough. Whoa! You guys, for the first time since I started this whole thing, the channel is in jeopardy.
Welcome to Car-Free Chronicles, and before we get to the drama, today is just a very normal episode doing some errands around town. I'm taking a return back to the store, refilling some household supplies, and doing the family grocery run for the week. Along the way, we'll talk some tips about keeping your bike safe while you're out on the town, so hop on and enjoy the ride.
Today is just a pretty normal day. We're doing a bunch of errands. I left my house at 4:10, so we can kind of maybe do a comparison to how long it's taken a car. I really don't think the bike is gonna add much since we're just hanging out so local here. Oh, there's a coyote. Hey friend. What's up, bud?
I was so focused on the coyote in front of me that I didn't even notice the coyote right next to me until I was editing this footage.
Hey. He just ducked into those bushes. I called him in for the video. Like I said, slice of life. The very first stop is I need some new sunglasses. I have misplaced mine. You guys, for the first time since I started this whole thing, the channel is in jeopardy. And that's because I have a 7-week-old baby at home. It's super exciting. When she gets older, I'm so excited to carry her around on the cargo bike, take her to daycare and school, all that jazz. But right now, she's very small. She's a very small baby. She lacks basic motor skills. So far, Tern does not have any infant car seat attachment. So yeah, when my wife starts commuting again, it's gonna be me and a wee babe and a bike. And I don't know how that's gonna work. So, you know, it's very possible that we need to go car light here for a little while. That said, I cannot be the first person trying to figure this out. So if you have any pro tips for like how to do newborn to 6 months on a bike, let me know. I know Thule has like an infant sling for the trailer. Kind of freaks my wife out a little bit. She might be like bouncing around like crazy in LA's rough roads. We'll see how that develops. For now, bike is still working just fine. I got a new selfie stick. It's a lot longer. The angles like this, I think make the videos cool. But boy, I feel like a real dork riding around town. All right, we're pulling into the first stop. Target, here we go. Okay, it's 4:25, 15 minutes to Target, plus a couple minutes of camera switching time. Oh, so many options. Just gonna go tried and true. Oh yeah, an hour in business. Stop number 2 is literally around the corner. Oh yeah, it's also 4:43. I was not the fastest at picking out sunglasses. Check that out. No surprise that the Zero Waste store has a bike rack right in front. It's gonna be right there. Just using that lock for this. The cargo bike has a built-in frame lock that just keeps you from being able to roll the bike away. It's not as secure as a full U-lock or chain lock, but it's so quick and easy that I use it for a lot of the time I'm just running to a store real quick. Good success. What you now? Of course, my wife just texted saying that I forgot a bag of stuff I was supposed to donate at Salvation Army. So it wouldn't be an errands trip if you didn't forget something, I guess. I feel like the amount of time you spend parking and walking to and from your car ends up being pretty equal to the amount of time you lose by going a little slower on a bike. Like, I don't have the science. It's just a feeling, but I think it's a true feeling. I gotta say, after becoming a dad, just getting out to run errands for the afternoon feels like a little mini vacation. Technically, this is chores, but now it feels like a break. Although I don't know, everybody kind of prepared me for the worst, becoming a parent. Like, oh, buckle up, your days of sleep are over. And then I saw stats that like babies cry for 3 hours a day, and I started imagining like, okay, a feature-length film of baby crying. What are we doing? And the reality has been not that. It's been like really awesome, actually. We're pretty fortunate to have a very chill baby. Pretty content most of the time. You know, she still wakes up and eats all the time and stuff. She's still a baby, but she could sit and watch the ceiling fan for 30 minutes, and I can sit and watch her watch the ceiling fan for 30 minutes, and it's like my favorite show. 2 months ago, I would have been like, that sounds excruciatingly boring, and now I'm like, it's pretty fun. We have arrived at the grocery. This time I am doing the full walk because it's out of, can't really see it. I'm not worried about it, but I can't see it.
Call me a child, but I still think that a grocery store with a cart escalator is cool. Throughout this whole day, I thought that the transit was going to be the biggest variable in timing, but it turns out that it is the shopping. Getting to the store a little faster can save you a couple minutes, but learning to be a faster shopper, that's where the real time savings will kick in. It should come as no surprise to people on this channel that I am not the fastest shopper in the world, and that's where the majority of the time on this day was spent.
Not a small amount of groceries. Going to not your home grocery store is an adventure. Yeah, it probably took twice as long as it needed to. But here we are, and it's back home. So the guy outside the grocery store asked me what kind of lock I use, because he has an e-bike also, and is nervous about leaving it places. And I get that comment quite a bit on the channel. I have had 2 bikes stolen in my life. Both of them were because I left it completely unlocked somewhere. One, I left it outside a grocery store, ran inside, and when I came out, it was gone. And the other time, there was a bike rack just outside of my apartment door. This was in college, and I went most of the year, but eventually one day it was gone. Bike theft is real. It's just the world that we live in, unfortunately. Obviously, locking up your bike is a good first step to avoiding it getting stolen. I have 3 levels of protection. Number 1, there's the built-in little front wheel frame lock on this bike, and that just means like you can't roll it away. This thing weighs like 70 pounds. It's obviously not a perfect solution, but you know, if you wanted to steal it, you'd have to like pick up the bike and put it in the back of your truck or something, which, you know, okay, I guess if that happens, it happens. Most of the time, I use that lock and an additional chain lock. You can cut them. It happens. You know, you try to use as much of your situational awareness as possible and not lock it in sketchy places. And the third line of defense on top of all of that is bike insurance. It's way cheaper than car insurance. As long as you're locking up the bike properly with the lock through the frame, you're locked to an actual stationary object, then they'll cover it if it gets stolen. There's some fine print, like you have to file a police report, you know, that there's some steps you have to take. But for $1 a day for a bike like this, I think it's super worth it. So yeah, there's an afternoon of errands on the cargo bike. By the time I get home, it'll be like 2 hours and 20 minutes. A solid hour of that was spent in the grocery store. You know, in the car, we might have been looking at like 2 hours flat instead of 220. But honestly, plus parking and everything, it might be a complete wash. The day-to-day of car-free life is kind of this. You're still doing the same stuff. You're still just going to the grocery store, doing your errands. It takes a percentage longer, but I don't know, I'm enjoying it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want more car-free adventures in Los Angeles, you know what to do.